All right, thank you for watching. This is our quick shot session for High School Drone Challenge. And I'm Matt Gressline, and I'm joined by Jeff Sobolski, our STLP Chief Enthusiast, and our High School Drone Challenge lead, Miss Jennifer Turley, who is a technology resource teacher in Clark County Schools, who has, how many years is this for you leading the drone challenge for high school?
I believe this will be our 4th year.
Okay. So we have a separate challenge lead for our middle school drone competition, and Ms. Turley is our high school drone challenge lead. So we will let her explain everything there is to know about high school drone challenge, and we will see what it's all about.
All right. So like Matt said, we are only high school. We've had some in the past that have tried to register that were middle school. So please make sure that this is only for high school students. You can have one team per school. In those teams, they usually have 3 to 5 players, but I'm also going to tell you that 5 players are a lot. I would highly suggest 3 and that be it. The way we run this is we'll go through heats, and it's an elimination heat. So once you're out, then that is it, and then the next team will continue to progress on. So let's kind of take a quick peek real quick on what the actual course looks like. Wrong one. There we go. So this is what the course looks like. This right here, can you all see my cursor?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. All right, so right over here would be where the front of the room is. This area here and here are what we consider to be gates. That's where you would score points. This is the 3rd gate here. There's a 4th gate here and a 5th gate here. So the majority of the course time, so you have 2 minutes to run your course, but the majority of that 2 minutes, you're going to be spent getting your balls out of one of these gates and into one of the scoring areas. Okay, so there's blue balls here. There's another set right over here. You can't see it in the picture. And then there's a set of red ones here and over here. So you use that downdraft of your drone, and it's going to blow those balls wherever you are directing them. Whoever has the most balls in one scoring gate, that's who scores points for that goal. There's also what we call bonus balls. There's 2 of them. There's one here and one on the opposite side. And you also would score points by getting those bonus balls. So let's take a look at the actual scorecard, because to me, that makes the most sense out of everything. So if you clear your alliance starting lane, so let's go back to that picture for a second. So that it means that you get all the balls out of this one little area. They have to cross the plane right here. And as long as they're out, you are going to get, if I could remember which one it was which, it would be great. There we go. You're going to score 10 points. So you could technically score 20. If you did both of your blue or both of the red lanes, then you could score 20 points there. If you own a goal, so any of those places where I showed you, you could score points, you could score 10 points for each of those. So if you owned 3 goals, then you could earn 30 points. And again, to own goals, you have to have the most of your colored ball in that goal. If you have one that you also have a bonus ball in, so you own the goal and you have a bonus ball in it, then you score an additional 11 points. Now, after you have gone through the course, the last 45 seconds, you may fly through what we call the keyhole gates up here. So if I am on this side of the course, so you go to the opposite side. So if I'm standing here at the front of my screen, I would fly my drone through the green keyhole gate and then through the yellow keyhole gate and go behind this black, what we call the blackout zone. And behind there are 2 cubes. I'm going to scooch over to a different picture for a second. Let's go to this one. I don't want to make anybody sick, so hang on just a second. I'm going to scroll down. So behind the actual blackout zone, there are two cubes. They're sitting on top of each other. There's a small cube and then there's a large cube, and they sit kind of side by side. Depending on which one of those you land on, you can score additional points. So let's go back to the scorecard again. So if you go back into the blackout zone and you land just on the floor, you would score 15 points. If you land on the larger of the cubes, then you would score 25 points. And then if you land on the small one, you score 40 points. And at the end, we add those scores up, and whoever has the most points, then we'll proceed to the next heat. So let me show you what those heats kind of look like. So before the competition ever starts, I will email this out to all of the coaches. It'll tell you what time you're supposed to be there for your heat. Now, if you notice on this first one, it says South Warren and Moore drone team, we're going to compete at 10 o'clock. But 15 minutes before that, so up here in the red, South Warren and Moore, they can warm up at 9:45. So you have 15 minutes in our practice area that will be out in the hallway. It won't be in our room, but it'll be out in the hallway in a roped off area for you. But you have 15 minutes that you can fly your drones and get ready. Okay, we don't allow anybody else to fly the zone or fly their drones out in the hall just for safety's sake. We don't want it running into anybody or there to be 15 drones flying around all over the place. So during that 15 minutes before your actual round, you may warm up. At 10 o'clock, you'll come into the room, we'll let you run your heat, and then we'll figure out who runs on to the next one. So in our second section here, it says heat 2. So whoever was round 1 winner, round 3 warms up during, well, let's just look at the bottom one. Round 1 winner and round 2 winner. So this was round 1. This was round 2. So whoever over here won these 2 rounds would then go on to the heat 2 at 12:10. And then we just keep going. So there's heat 1, heat 2, heat 3, and then heat 4, and then our last and final heat. It depends on how many people we have that want to compete for how many heats we would actually have. All right, so we've talked about the course. We've said that each one of the actual races only lasts 2 minutes. And again, that last 45 seconds is when you can fly into that blackout zone. The one stipulation that we have is that you do have to bring your own drone. So if you were actually going to do this course, actually, let's back up for a second. The course that I use is from the Rec Foundation. They are a company or a business that has competitions all over the place, and you can have a team that goes and competes in different states and what have you. Each year they come out with a different course. Like this is this year's. It's called Mission 2026 Time Warp. This is not the one we're going to do. Every year you would have to keep buying additional supplies to change up the course, just so that we have people that are familiar with what we're doing and know how the games work. I have continued to use the blackout zone. It is no longer on this site. You can't get to it. But in our flyer, I have linked a YouTube video down here where you can go and watch the actual blackout zone competition. But what that company suggests is using co-drone EDU drones. And if you actually compete in their competitions, you must use their drones. We know school budgets are tight, and so we're just lucky to have any kind of drones. So I've always had it to where it's open. You can bring your own drone. The only stipulation is that it has to be able to fit through those there they are, the keyhole gates. And they're about 24 inches in diameter. So as long as they can fly through there, you can use whatever drones you want to use. Now, if you decide to use one of the co-drones, they are about $250, and there's a link on here where you can go and buy them. I have not found them on anywhere like Amazon. A lot of people bring the Tello drones, and the Tello drones you can get on Amazon for anywhere from $175 to $250 a piece. Those are our two most popular ones, but we do have some people that bring very large drones, but it's totally up to you. The only thing with any of the drones that you use, you may not use a camera. So this is a blind fly, especially because of the blackout zone. So if you have something like this here, where it shows a video of where you're going, we only ask that either you turn it off, and if that's not allowed, then I want you to take tape and put over it to where you can't see what's on that screen, because it is supposed to be a blind fly behind that blackout zone. A lot of people also ask, how can we practice this? And my suggestion is not to go to the REC Foundation and purchase this. Each kit costs about $1,000 for the basic elements, or what they call them, their field elements. Then you also have to go out and you have to purchase the PVC pipe, cut it, and then make it. Instead, what I would do is I would go to like the Dollar General or Dollar Tree and buy hula hoops and try to just have things that they are flying through, just practicing it, because honestly that's what they need. They need that skill of knowing how to like make it go up a certain height, and it's not programmed, it's free flying. So they are free driving those drones. So just changing the height of them, having them practice. The other thing for these, I would get, I know that on Amazon you can get something called balloon arches, and people will make those real pretty things, but they're only like $20 on Amazon. So you could get a balloon arch and just practice going underneath of it. And then for back behind, landing on those cubes, you could get different size cardboard boxes or what have you, and then just put a sheet up and have them fly behind. Something to just mimic it, but I would not go out and try and spend the money to actually build this course unless you were really wanting to have competitions at your own building or something like that. If you're just trying to learn how to fly this course, then I would just go the cheap route. You do have to have safety goggles on or safety glasses, or if you are like me and already have glasses, that is perfectly acceptable as well, just some kind of eye protection. And I think that is about it. On our flyer, it is linked down here, like I said, that video for you. I also have linked for you all the rules. So that first, there we go. This PDF manual, this is the actual blackout zone. Again, this was in 22-23 year. So this is the rule book, and it will tell you like if you wanted to set up the course, what it would look like. It gives you directions for autonomous flight and piloted flights. Again, we're going to do the self one pilot flight. But if you scroll down through here, it will show you even like the dimensions of how to set a field up if you truly wanted to make it. It will show you also what each blackout zone should look like behind that curtain. Again, if I'm on the red team, I'm on this side, I'm standing here, but when I get ready to go to my blackout zone, I'm going to fly on that opposite side. So it's trying to show you there. So remember when I said to clear your lane, you had to cross that plane. This one here has been cleared. This one, neither one of these two balls have cleared the lane. Neither has this one. It has to be completely past that white PVC pipe at the end in order for you to have cleared the starting lanes. And again, this manual like goes through step by step and really shows you everything you would need to know. If you have questions though, you're always more than welcome to email me or call me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you will have. Matt, I think that's about it.
Right. That is so awesome. It's such a, I don't know. I think all of our challenges are fun, but this one is awesome. So we really appreciate your time setting this up and keeping it going. And it's a great opportunity for our students. Again, we will post this video link in the folder, and it'll be on our STLP YouTube page. If you need to go back and watch it or show it to your students, that is perfectly fine, and we encourage that. We will. I don't know. We're excited to go, and thank you, Mr. Hurley, for sharing with us here, and we appreciate your time and efforts.
You're welcome. I hope really excited to see everybody.
It's gonna be great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.